Hello, everybody. My name is Damian Sneed, and I just wanted to give a few words about our class, Biblical Care and Counseling. It was a great class, and it helped me a lot, and I mean that in all sincerity, just from reading the books, Heath Lambert's book, Theology of Biblical Counseling, and then just doing the exercises in the workbook by Paul David Tripp, Instruments in the Redeemer's Hand. And that helped me to just re-examine myself constantly and check my own heart, understanding I have to do those things if I'm going to be effective in helping someone else, if I'm going to be a change agent in somebody else's life. And so just working through those exercises, even with the person that I have been trying to give some godly counsel to, that has been helpful to understand that a lot of the problems that we face in many cases are warranted because of how we respond to a situation. If we respond in anger or acting out in anger, it's not the situation itself that has caused me to respond in a sinful way, but it's literally the result of my own sinful heart. And so that's been helpful. Heath Lambert worked throughout his book just driving home the point that counseling is theological in nature. Us knowing God and His Word, we are able to be effective in helping those who have problems and difficult circumstances, because the Bible, unlike any other secularist technique, counseling technique, the Bible itself is sufficient, it's authoritative, it addresses every problem that we face. One of the things that was encouraging was this, as David Tripp said in one of his videos, we look to the cross. The cross tells us what's wrong with us, but then it also helps us with what's wrong with us. In other words, God is the only one who truly knows us. He can diagnose our problem, but then He's also the only one who can fix whatever problem that we have. And so I was interested to look at that. We looked at how sin affects us in our relationships. It affects us in our dealings with others. It affects how we respond to hurtful situations. And so in many ways, we are affected from sin as a result of the fall. My essay was built off of the premise simply that biblical counseling is about ministering the word to those who are hurting. And as I said, we believe that the Bible is sufficient to address every need that we have. And so I just tried to work through that, understanding that we are people of the written word, but then, of course, the written word deals and tells us about the living word. Jesus says, in the volume of the book, it is written of me. At least that's what the Bible says. And so we believe that. We see how Jesus interacted with people one-on-one, such as Nicodemus and the woman at the well. We see also His interactions with the disciples, how He gave them loving admonishment, but then He gave stern rebukes to the self-righteous religious rulers who just would not listen. And so David Tripp talks about how there are some times where real stern confrontation needs to take place. In other words, we can't really change without real confrontation. But how does that confrontation, or what does it look like? And so he teaches us those things. Jesus teaches us how it's supposed to be done. He said in His word that in this world you will have trouble. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world rather. What separates us, lastly, from those who are not believers is, even though we all have problems, we who are born again are indwelt by the Spirit of God, who the Bible says, Jesus himself said, is our counselor, is our comforter, is our guide. And so it's just comforting to know that as a child of God, I have the tools that I need to change, but then also be an instrument of change. Thank you.